We accept intellectual property as just a regular part of society. It's something that's built in, it's something that's there. But why do we have intellectual property, and is it good or bad? Hi, this is Will. Welcome to the InnovAU channel. I create videos that intend to educate and inspire people to get out there and invent, innovate and create your ideas into reality. Now, while this may seem a bit weird for someone who's studying intellectual property as a profession to say, but I do agree that there are some negative points of intellectual property protection. For example, especially to do with copyright and online content creators, people who create videos online, such as myself. It's very easy to run into copyright issues. Say if you use someone's music or someone's music is in the background of your video, you can run into a copyright issue right there. So copyright is a major source of problem and a source of intellectual property protection that can actually stifle and annoy people who are trying to create content online. Intellectual property, it can protect people, but it also punishes good people based on bad people's actions. And it can make creating content just a little bit harder. Since it's so easy to run into copyright accidentally or accidentally infringe on someone's patent or something like that, it's so easy to do that just by accident. In an ideal world, there would be no intellectual property protection. There would be no reason for it. People wouldn't try and take advantage of other people, and we could all use each other's ideas and make the world a better place. But unfortunately, this isn't an ideal world. We're not living in a utopia. We're living in a world where people will take advantage of other people. We're living in a world where people won't always be good, and good people won't always be good. And this is why I think we need intellectual property protection in place. So consider this scenario. You've created a song or something online and you've posted it online and you're really proud of your work. You're really proud of what you've created. Another company comes along and they see your work and they see that you're having a bit of trouble spreading your work out there. So they promote your work. But they don't promote you. They promote your work under their name. They may not even reference you. They may not even acknowledge your existence. They may then make a lot of money out of this. And would you like this sort of situation? Would you want that sort of thing to happen? Copyright laws are in place to protect people from this sort of thing happening. They're there so that you will get acknowledged if it is your copyright. If it is something that you have created, you should be acknowledged for it, and you should be able to decide whether or not you should get some of the returns from it. Copyright protection is in place so that you can have control over who uses your creations. And this is a similar sort of thing to protecting a physical product or some sort of invention that you've created. Say if you come up with an invention and you go to a company that you think you trust and you show them your invention to get some more ideas or to get their view on the product, and you trust them, so you don't get a patent pending, or you don't get an innovation patent, or you don't get them to sign an NDA or anything like that. And they give you some ideas. They say, all right, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you about it and we'll contact you. You go away. A few months later, you've heard nothing from them, and you go past the shop and you see that your product is on sale. Your product seems like it's been on sale for a while and it's quite popular. They've got posters up for it, they're advertising it, they're selling your product that you have created. But if you've got no protections and if you've got no proof, what can you do? You're kind of locked out of your own invention. If they're making money off your invention, shouldn't you have something to do with that? Shouldn't you be able to get some of those returns? And so, as I said before, I really think that intellectual property protection is something that is extremely important in protecting the creator of something. It allows the creator to have control, and it allows the creator to get returns if there are returns available. and allows them to be compensated for what they've created. They have created this. They've put their time and effort and money and everything into this. Blood, sweat and tears. And if they're cut out from any of the returns and compensation and payments for this, then that's really not fair. Now, intellectual property protection isn't an absolute guarantee that you won't have your ideas stolen and you won't have to go into court cases and that sort of thing. But it acts as a deterrent, if anything. After all, if there wasn't copyright protection, people wouldn't be scared of infringing copyright, and so your idea might just be taken and used all the time. But because there is copyright protection, people assume that your idea is protected under copyright and that you would chase after them if they have infringed that copyright, and so it's a deterrent in that case. You can make this as an analogy to a bike and locking your bike against a fence with a chain or a D-lock or something like that. If someone really wants that bike, that chain, that lock is not going to stop them. They are going to go for it and they're going to have your bike. But the chain and lock is a deterrent. It's something that will make people think twice about it. And if it stops people before they even attempt it, that's a good thing. Saying this, you don't have to use intellectual property protection. It's your choice whether you want to or not, and it's your choice whether you want to chase up on it or not. You don't have to apply for a patent. You don't have to apply for a trademark. You don't have to chase up copyright infringements or register your music or content anywhere. And in general, you will be protected by the deterrent effect, by the fact that there is protection out there for other things, so people assume that your content will be protected. Intellectual property protection isn't there to stop innovation and invention. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Intellectual property protection is one of the greatest ways to encourage more invention and innovation. And while it does kind of depend on the patent attorney and whoever is creating the patent or the protection, you don't want to create something that is too broad and too vague, that creates a monopoly over too much. A good patent attorney will only do the specifics and only do what is required to cover that item. Because ideally, this protection will allow other people to be able to think more outside the box and to be able to think different ways rather than just doing an iterative approach and just, doing one step at a time. Having that sort of patent or protection in place means that people will have to take a completely different leap and take a completely different path and a different view at something. And in that way, it encourages invention and innovation in ways that just couldn't happen if people were allowed to just take small steps. One of the most valuable assets for any company is its intellectual property. In fact, quite often that is the most valuable asset, if not the majority of the assets of a company. Especially the brand name, trademark, and all of that sort of thing is usually the most expensive part of the company. That's what people are buying when they're buying a company. When they pay millions upon billions of dollars for a company, they're buying that trademark, they're buying the intellectual property of that company. These are things which people put in their hard work and time and effort into creating. These are things which should be protected, and that the creator should be allowed to see returns from them, and should be allowed to control how it is spread and who would be able to use it. And if people are making money from it, the creator of it should also be able to see some of that, or decide whether or not they want to see some of it. So in my view, I really think that intellectual property protection is extremely important. I think it is something that is integral to invention and innovation. It's something that protects the creator so that they can have control over their own creations. If you've got any thoughts about intellectual property protection, leave a comment in the comments section below. Hit that like button if you'd like to see more content that aims to educate and inspire people to get out there and invent, innovate and create ideas into reality. Hit that subscribe button as well. It's been awesome talking with you. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day or night or whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.